Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ragplay's Crusader Kings II Monks and Mystics, the Penitenziagite campaign. We are playing as the Count of Monferrat, and I was just going over the last time, on our last episode, I was just going over the council positions and what they can potentially do for a realm. And hopefully you know a little bit better why I chose the things that I chose at the start of this campaign to send our people to do if you've never played this game before. We're going to briefly continue to go through these. I think it is important that you know the ins and outs of this game, and since the beginning portions of this campaign are going to be a tutorial so that people can learn how to play, I'm going to go through it properly. I'm not going to screw around. I'm not going to go fast. We're just going to take our time. We're not in a rush, and I need to keep that in mind. So, on our council tab at the top, let's take a look at some of the other things. We've done minor titles before. These basically pertain to certain positions in the realm. A regent is if we happen to become retarded or sick or injured in a way that we can't administer our realm anymore for ourselves personally because we're infirm, we're too old, we're senile, whatever happens to us, our designated regent will take over until we die or until the heir comes of age or whatever. Our designated regent right now is our son, which is a safe bet because our son is not likely to plot against us because he's the one who's directly in line to inherit this county from us. So he has no reason to plot against us. It's only going to be a matter of time before he becomes the ruler. Next up is our court physician. Anytime we get a disease or get an injury, we can petition our court physician to try and heal us. Very important you have one of these. Next one up is a Master of the Horse. This is just an opinion buff, and the Master of the Hunt, the High Alamoner, the Cupbearer, all of these, they're just to get opinion off of people and to improve their income just a little bit if you want to have them gain a little bit more money. And their prestige is improved by having these titles as well. So they'll like you better for having them. Ideally, you want to give these to your vassals who are powerful, to get them to like you the most, to get them to like you a little better, or people who have a low opinion of you, you need to get over a certain threshold. You want to keep them in reserve sometimes. You don't always want to hand them out for no reason, because there might be a point where you need one, but it's on somebody already that doesn't need to be improved the relationship with. If they already like you well enough, you don't need to give them a title, is what I'm trying to say. And speaking of that, I should say where to see whether somebody likes you enough. Let's click on our son, use him as an example. His opinion of us is 62. That means he likes us more than average. It goes on a scale of minus, I think it's minus 200 to plus 200. So he likes us well enough. He is not going to try to do anything to us. He likes our personal diplomacy skill. He thinks we're good at talking to him, so our personal diplomacy is improving our relationship with him. He likes that we've been reigning over this province for a long time. The longer you reign, you control your province, your county, whatever you happen to own, the more people will like you. It's because they're used to you. They know who you are. They trust you. Long reign is good. You want to rule over a place for a long time. At the beginning of your reign, when this guy takes over, people won't like him very much because he'll have the short reign penalty. He hasn't reigned for very long. But that'll go away over time. It'll tick down, then it'll start moving into the positive as he gets older. He does not like that there is Gavelkind succession in our realm, which is a particular law. That means if we die and say we owned Saluzzo and Montferrat right now, say we own Saluzzo as well as Montferrat, and we're the Count of Montferrat, we're not yet the Duke. Our land, so Montferrat and Saluzzo, would be split between our two children. This guy and this guy. He doesn't like the idea of that because he's the primary heir. He thinks he should get everything. And I happen to agree with him. It's better, when you're a count, certainly, it's much better that you keep all of your land under one character rather than splitting them between two, because the way the feudal pyramid works in CK2, counts cannot be subservient to counts. So if I died and I owned these two provinces, my son would become a count and my other son would become a count. This son would become independent because he would not be able to be controlled by my other son. He would not be able to be a count under this count. So they would both be counts, they would both be equals, so he would break independent. We don't want that to happen. To prevent that from happening, you want to change the laws in your realm. We'll get to that eventually. But also you want to create the duchy, because creating the duchy will ensure that all of this stays on one character most of the time. Or at least the person who holds the duke title, if I gave my son the duchy itself, it would be more likely he would keep the rest of the realm underneath of him. He would get the lion's share, since he's the duke. So the other positions, what were we doing here? Right, so opinion. It's going to be much longer than I thought it's going to be. So he's the designated regent of our realm, so he likes us even better because he has a title that we gave him. He knows he's going to be in charge if anything happens to us. He's also the cupbearer. That's another title we gave him, so +5 more opinion. He's the steward on top of that, since we assigned him a job to do, a position, an actual position. He likes us even more for that. And what else does he like about us? Because we are just, we're a just ruler. He likes that we're just. He likes that we're a good man. He likes that we're brave, because we have the brave trait. And he likes... We're both just, so on top of being just, most characters prefer that we're just. Because we're both just, he loves us. Because we both have the same opinions about what is right and what is wrong. And we are both the same dynasty. We're both part of the Almerici family here. Almerici, I should say. Now, this is an important distinguishment to make. When you're talking about CK2 and the way realms are governed, they're generally governed by a family. Now, the County of Monferrat, it may be a little bit confusing here, has this shield, and this symbolizes that this is the county. It has the Count's crown on top of it. You can click on Monferrat, and we can see information about the county itself, so the country. It's de jure part of the Duchy of Susa, as I said before, so it belongs in this area, which is part of the Kingdom of Italy, which is part of the Empire of Italia. It's hard to see right now, but the Empire of Italia basically only consists of Italy right now. It does not have anything else. And the republics. It has Genoa, Pisa, and Venice underneath of it. None of these will be created, I doubt, but we might get up to the point of creating the Duchy of Susa. Underneath the Count of Ferrat, the County of Ferrat, is the city of Asti and the Bishopric of Casale, as we have seen. So the two people who are under us, if we go to vassals, are the Bishop of Casale and the Mayor of Asti, who own each of these subholdings in our county. So here's the city of Asti, here's the Bishopric of Casale. So that tells us what's underneath the county, and it will also tell us in here, if we look at it, we can rename this actually to whatever we wanted to. I could rename this something completely different. We're going to keep it as Montferrat. I like that. It's just easier for me to remember what things are. I'm used to the map. I know European geography. It would just be more confusing than it's worth for me to rename things, so I'm not going to do that. The holder of this title is Adone Almerici. That's us. It tells us what our income is because of our domain. We gain 15.5 ducats per year, and because we have our steward collecting taxes and buffing our tax income by 30% thereabouts, it's increased to 23.91 per year. A feudal tax of 0. Our city tax, we don't have any feudal vassals, so nobody... if we had another barony under here and we had a vassal that was a baron, he would pay us taxes. The church pays us taxes and the city pays us taxes. So if we go back to here, we can see that the city is paying us 7.38 ducats a year, which is not very much, but every little bit helps. The church is not paying us anything. Now, what governs the church and what he would be paying us, if we look at him, his opinion of us is 23. He likes us all right, but what determines whether the church pays us tax or not is whether he likes us or the Pope more? If he likes the Pope more, in fact, I want to see him. Is he? Now, somewhere in here it should say opinion of the Pope. Basically, what this is telling us, in any case, if it says under the county that we are not gaining any church tax from him, he's not paying us any tax, and if I wanted to sort it by that, he's not paying us taxes. Basically, we know that means that his opinion of the Pope is higher than his opinion of us. So he likes the Pope better than us, so he's paying taxes to the Pope and not us. To try and min-max it, you could try and improve his opinion. So here it is, in fact. Here, you can see it right here on the vassal list. So if you click on the vassals tab, it says his opinion of the Pope is 64, his opinion of us is only 23. So all of the taxes that we would be making off him are going to the Pope instead of us, because he is a bishop. If he liked us better, the taxes would be going to us. Anyway, back to the County of Monferrat. We are not making anything off of church tax, and this is what we make yearly, 31 ducats, 0.29 a year. And our expenses are 6.74, which means, since we're a count, we are paying a tax to be protected to the Holy Roman Emperor. If we had a duke above us, we'd be paying a tax to the duke, and the duke would be paying a tax to the Holy Roman Emperor. So it's good that we don't have the middleman in between us and him. I think it's better for us. I'm not entirely certain of that. Don't quote me on it. It might be worse for us, but the Holy Roman Emperor is taxing us directly, and we lose about 6. It's a reasonable tax. It's not horribly. It's not awful. What is that? If I look at that right now, yearly tax 6 ducats a year off of a yearly total income of 31 ducats. So that's roughly what, 15%? Hell, I pay that where I live. That'd be 8. That is a little bit high. That's like a 20% tax, but it's not horrible. We're in the green. That's all that matters. We're not being taxed horribly. Now, for the rest of the County of Monferrat, we have a couple other tabs here. We can declick the de jure thing, and it just tells us what we're a part of right now. We're part of the Holy Roman Empire, which is not de jure where the County of Monferrat belongs. We technically belong to the Empire of Italy by law, but the Empire of Italy does not exist. Only the Holy Roman Empire exists. The Kingdom of Italy doesn't even exist. The Duchy of Susa doesn't even exist. But I usually keep this box ticked because it's convenient to know where things are in the realm. Like if I look at Swabia, for instance, if I click on Swabia, since the box is clicked, it shows us the extent of the Duchy of Swabia. It has Württemberg, Ulm, Fürstenberg, and Schwaben. This is all the Duchy of Swabia by law. Going back to Montferrat, we have a button here that says Claimants, and that tells us who has claims on our provinces. One of our brothers has a claim on our province because he's our brother. He is heir. He could potentially inherit our kingdom, and we also have another relative here. Our half-sister also has a claim on our province. Both of these people are very unlikely to push this claim and try and dethrone us because they don't have land of their own. They don't own anything, so they don't have any troops, so they won't attack us. And you want to have as few claimants as possible, and generally you want them to be all in your dynasty, so all of them should belong to Amici if you can help it. You want to keep out other dynasties from getting claims on you. Claims are bad when there are other people trying to claim your stuff. It's bad. And we have the history of the realm. It tells us basically going all the way back to this fellow. He'd be our ancestor, then our country. Our country was owned by this man, Mo D'Alarico, in 860, and then Aleramo in 961, who founded our house, Aleramici. So it would be founded by the man called Aleramo, and then Guglielmo was our father, and then here we are. So this must be our actually, it tells us right here, this is us, this is our father, this is our great-grandfather, someone who wasn't related to us, and another person who wasn't related to us. And that tells us who owned the province throughout the years, throughout the many, many years, hundreds of years. Alright, so where were we? We were talking about... We're on our son, right? Yes. Our son, I was talking about opinion, because we were the same dynasty. So our dynasty is Alaramici. Even though it's the same shield as the county, this is a different thing entirely. This is telling us who our family is. I'm going to actually expand this tab just temporarily to show us, so we can expand all of our family members and see who we're related to. Some of them are probably dead. Indeed they are. Here's a dead one. Our father is dead. And so forth. And this one actually is one of our nephew is married to a woman who already had a child before, so this is she's technically in our family, but she's only related to us by law. She's not related to us by blood, so she's not part of our dynasty. She is House Treviso. She is not House Alaramici. Anyway, that's that taken care of. So dynasty, you can switch to dynasty map mode here to see who everyone is, but it kind of only shows you who the ruling dynasty of the given kingdom is. So France right now is ruled by the family Capet. The Holy Roman Empire is ruled by the Salian dynasty. Arpad is in charge of Hungary. Piast is in charge of Poland. England is owned by of Normandy. So William of Normandy owns that. Estrid is in Denmark. Stenkiling is in Sweden, and Yingling is in Norway, and so forth. There's lots of other places. Seljuks, Fatimids, Almoravids, Jimena, House Jimena in Spain. All of these are important to learn. All of them are historic people at this starting date. It's all of these people were real. These families were real in our world. So switch back to direct vassal map mode. That takes care of that. You can look at your dynasty tree, which is just the family, your family tree, to see a little bit more of a simpler breakdown of who you're related to and so forth, your wife and whatnot. The realm tree. This one's pretty important to learn at the start of the game. This is for the Holy Roman Empire because that's the realm we belong to. The leader of the Holy Roman Empire is Kaiser Heinrich, who lives here in Nassau, and he owns some land personally. If I click on him, it'll tell us what he owns. You look at his titles here. He owns the Holy Roman Empire, the entire thing he's in charge of, so he's Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. He is Duke of the Duchy of Franconia, I'm sorry. So the Duchy of Franconia is this here. This is the de jure extent of it, but he only owns 3 in that area. He owns Bamberg, personally, he owns Würzburg, he owns Leiningen, and he owns Nassau. So it'll actually tell us what he owns there. He owns Nassau, Leiningen, Würzburg, and Bamberg. So this is the extent of his realm here. Going back to his realm tree, we expand it. I'm going to click on us for that purpose, actually, going to the realm tree of us. So he is the top guy. He's our top liege. Everyone below him is either a duke or a count. I'm going to move this over here. So these are generally arranged by most powerful to least powerful. And we can drag it. I wish this window was bigger. It's very hard to see. There are a lot of people in the Holy Roman Empire, as you can see here. And some of them are varying degrees of weakness and strength. You have at the top, you have the Duchess of Tuscany. Tuscany is this duchy here. You can see it's all of this yellowy gold color. It's pretty big. Owns a lot more land than it should. The actual Duchy of Tuscany, de jure, only consists of these 3 provinces here: Siena, Florence, and Lucca. So she owns far more than what she should. And in fact, she is not just and this is why she owns more than she should, her primary title is the Duchy of Tuscany. But you can own more than one duchy, and she also owns the Duchy of Spoleto down here. Spoleto consists of Spoleto and Apruitum. And on top of that, she owns even more land that she probably shouldn't. She owns... so Tuscany, that's the extent of Tuscany. She also owns 2 vassals, one of them being Parma, the other one being Modena. She owns that personally. And she also owns Ferrara and Brescia, and each of these belong to different duchies altogether. Parma belongs to Modena, which consists of these 2. Ferrara consists of all these 3, and then Brescia is part of the Duchy of Lombardy, which consists of these 4 over here. It's very confusing at the start of the game. So anyway, she is a very powerful duchess, because she is a double duchess. She's not just a single duchess. Going back to the realm tree. Let's take a look at where we are on the feudal pyramid here. Our relative power in the realm. Right-click to drag. Let's find ourselves. We're a count. Here we are here. Of the total amount of power in the Holy Roman Empire, we account for 6% of the troops in the Holy Roman Empire. We own 3 domain holdings. You can see some of these people are very, very powerful. This guy owns 43 holdings, sub-holdings. She owns 30. But even so, her holdings have better technology and better amounts of troops than him, even though he owns 43. But then you have the weakest of them, the further down you go, and that tends to be bishops, tends to be mayors, and things like that. Sometimes it's counts, though. Here's the Prince Bishop of Mainz. Mainz is right over here, part of the de jure Duchy of Franconia, even though that the Holy Roman Empire does not own that particular province. But he is the direct vassal of the Holy Roman Emperor. So, because the Holy Roman Empire is the Duke of Franconia, and this is part of Franconia, so this guy is directly under him. And he does not have very many troops at all. He has 814 men. And you can expand all of these things to see who is beneath each of these individual people, and that kind of just spans the pyramid. These are all the counts and barons that are directly owing fealty to her, and all of the bishops and barons that owe fealty to this count, who owes, and he owes her, and she owes him, and so forth, and that's how the pyramid works. Jesus, there's a lot to go through in this game. I won't be sad if you guys up and leave in the middle of this, because this, I imagine, is pretty boring. Not consist of a lot of gameplay. But you are trying to learn the game if you're still here, so I'm going to teach you. We have some more basic information here. Of course, our ambition, our crown focus we dealt with before. Our domain size is also listed here in addition to being listed up at the top. What does this mean? Vassal limit. We don't have any vassals right now, and vassal limit basically means anything count level or below. We can have as many barons as we like, it doesn't matter, they don't count towards vassal limit. But we have 0 out of 0 vassals right now. So, no big deal. We can't have any vassals as a count. We can't have any counts underneath of it, so this will be always 0 out of 0 until we become a duke, and then it'll actually tell us the number. Our troop count is here. The amount of men we can pull from our realm. Our wealth is here, how much money we have. And it'll tell us our monthly balance, our monthly income and expenses. Prestige. Prestige is listed up here. Prestige is a thing that you can spend in the game, and a thing that you gain over time passively. The more prestige you have, the better people will like you around you. So, if they're feudal. Bishops don't care about prestige. The Pope does not care about prestige, but anyone who is feudal government type or mayor, Republic, he owns a city, he will like us better if we have higher prestige. The higher we have, the more opinion that we get with people, Our diplomacy skill increases because of it. Amount of counties just different things affect it and so forth. And we have piety, of course, which is the same, pretty much the same as prestige, except it's for church type activities and the opinion of church vassals and stuff, church-going folk. Below that, it tells us all of our traits that we have. So our character is a skilled tactician. He has a martial. This is his main education focus and his trait. This is what he turned out of being. So he's a skilled tactician. He has a martial of +6, an intrigue of +1, stewardship of +1, learning of -1, and health of +0.5, and a personal combat skill of +1. This is a very decent trait to have. It is the second highest that this could possibly be. If we had 4 pips here instead of 3 that are listed 1, 2, 3, it would be a brilliant strategist, and that would be the maxed out version of this. And we'd get even more martial, even more intrigue and stewardship, and less learning probably, and more health. Be good to rank up to that eventually. Just is another trait. This is a neutral trait. The opposite, usually traits in the game. This is the education trait. You can only ever have one of these, but these you can have lots of different ones. So if they're circular, it means they can change on a whim. You might have the opposite of this. The opposite of just is arbitrary. Arbitrary is a bad trait. Just is a good trait. Most people prefer just better than arbitrary, except for arbitrary characters. Arbitrary characters will prefer other arbitrary characters, and just characters prefer just characters. But just in itself is not a virtue. Red and green. The differences between red and green. The 7 deadly sins are red, and the 7 virtues are green. So we have one of the 7 deadly sins. We are lustful. Our monthly piety gain is hampered because of this. We get less piety per month. But just because it's a sin doesn't mean it's a bad thing. We get +1 intrigue from it and +20% fertility. That's a very good trait to have when you're a feudal character, because you'll get more children, you'll increase the amount of women will like you better, and so forth, or men if you happen to be gay and you have the lustful trait, or if you were a woman, men would like you better, and so forth. But the church's opinion of us is lower because of it, because that is a sin. Be lustful. Brave. This is another neutral trait because it's in beige. The background is beige. Brave characters will like us better. Craven characters will dislike us because we're brave. This gives us +2 martial, +1 personal combat skill, moral defense of +10, so anytime we're defending, our morale is not hurt as much. When we're in battle, we can fight longer and defend longer, and so forth. Vassal opinion is +5 because of it. They love that we're brave. Same trait opinion is +5 on top of that. Opposite trait, the opposite of brave, is craven. They dislike us because of it. Humble. This is a virtue. The church likes us better because we are humble. It's the 7th virtue and the opposite of pride. Humble characters gain piety, where the proud gain prestige. Not so good for a feudal character. We'd rather be gaining prestige. Prestige is more valuable to us than piety in general, because we're not in charge of a bishopric or anything like that. You can't be in the game, but there are benefits to piety, and it's not a bad trait to have at all. The same trait opinion is +5. The opposite is -5. So proud characters won't like us as much, but that's all right. Good trait to have. Our character is pretty good overall. Down here you have a little shield that lists our combat modifiers and what we gain for doing when we're in charge of an army. I'll show you what I mean by that. If I raise our local liege levy here, this is me raising up the army. When I talk about raising the army, generally you only do this when you're about to go to war, or not about to go to war, when you've declared war on someone. You raise up the army, because if this is just sitting around raised, you're saying you're going out and you're telling your people to gather up all the able-bodied young men and meet us here and prepare for fight. Prepare for a fight. That costs money. We don't want these men to be standing around doing nothing, because if you look at our monthly balance right now, if we let it tick a day, I should say, this will update and it will show that we're losing money per month because we have all of these men raised. So we might even be in the negative for that. I'm going to quickly explain this. So since we've raised up the army, we actually have 3 flanks in the army. This one is unavailable to us for reasons. I'm not exactly sure what governs that, but generally we can assign 3 leaders to each of the flanks and the center. So 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Right now we are currently leading the center. Our character is. We can change the character. We can select anyone we want to lead the center, but we'll put ourselves in the center. Whoops. Let's go back to our character and check out the combat modifiers. Our morale defense is plus 17%. Plus 10% because we're brave, and plus times 1.7 because we have a certain level of martial. And our personal combat skill is 2, so anytime we enter a duel, we have a pretty good chance because of the plus 1 from brave and the plus 1 from skilled tactician to come out as victorious in the duel. But the intents and purposes of leading leading a flank, this number is important here. Morale defense plus 17%. That means whenever we're in battle against someone, because we're in charge, our troops on this flank, specifically just this flank, are taking 17% less damage because we are leading it. That's quite significant. Want that. That's good. What that translates to, basically, is we are doing... I'm not sure if it works the same way, but we might be doing 17% more damage because of it as well. I'm not sure about that. I don't think it works that way. That would be the way it would work in Europa Universalis 4 if we had that game, but it does not work like that in CK2, I don't think. But for the intents and purposes, we take less damage. That's a good thing whenever we engage in combat. So I'm going to drop the levy now because we don't need it up. I'll talk about armies a little bit more after. But for now, that is going to do it for this episode. We made some ground through our character sheet and whatnot. Next episode, we're going to be talking about all of these tabs here. Hopefully we'll get the laws taken care of. Inheritance laws and all this. Man, this is going to be quite a long tutorial at the beginning of this series, but I think it's necessary. I will see you next time, guys.